Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Clash with Barndo. Tonight's war I'm going to go through is our War Win 151 versus Titans Refuge. Really good clan. They had some decent bases. They performed well on our Town Hall 10s, and we were lucky to win by the 3. Not lucky. It's pretty much our plan is always to hit the 2 stars on the 10s and 3 everything else. They've missed 1 10, they've missed 1 9, and then they've missed one of our 8s. So overall, good effort from those guys, and pretty unlucky to not get a bit closer. For us, we had a pretty strong start, then a bit of a fade out in the middle of the war, and then came strong home. So no 3 stars on the 10s. We did have a 92% there, and we only used the 1 mascot hit on the Town Hall 9. So the rest of those were done by done by Town Hall 9s. And we only used, I think it was 2 Town Hall 9s on the Town Hall 8s. So I'm going to go through quite a few attacks this war. Pretty proud of my guys to, achieve that standard war plan for us, as it was quite a hard war. I did try out Town Hall 10 Lightnings versus their number 9. That was their top maxed Town Hall 9. So it wasn't a maxed Queen, but I did try it. I'll just show the start for this. It was a bit of a 4-phase attack with a Queen Walk, King with a few Wizzies, and then finish off with the Lava Loon dry spell. So worked well. Earthquake to clear the clan castle, and yeah, that got the Queen and the clan castle out of the way. And then the object was to push the King up the top air defence. I'll just speed it up quick, I don't want to spend too much time. It's a Town Hall 10 hitting a Town Hall 9, so I do want it there just for our guys to see for later. But you see the Queen then gets that second air defence, then you just dry spell the rest. That was fun. I've not really used the lightnings too much, so it's a bit of practice for me. Dennis's attack on number 10. He's gone in with a GoWiPe with a hog tail. One of these troll bases, we've actually seen this quite a few times in the last probably dozen wars. We've probably seen it 3 or 4 times, and people still using this shitty design. The outside troll base, inside Teslas, you don't know where the bombs are, you don't know where everything is. So Dennis has done quite well with his split there, with his 2 golems splitting up. He's got a good level of wizard and a hero on each group. Wasn't sure it was in the clan castle. We didn't have this open by Town Hall 8 or anything like that. Jump was to get in there and get the Queen, and he wanted to keep moving, so later on he'd save his hogs. So was a hound in the end. Kind of lucky it was on the King side. It was quite heavy on the Wizzies at that stage. Now on the hound split, this is probably the only bad part I've seen from his raid, was he didn't do anything about these pups. So he was just getting ready to get his hogs in there, and sort of ignored the pups. So they've done a fair whack of damage, as we know they can do. First heal in the midfield there was good. Queen's group's cruising along still. Second heal was good as well. Just clipped a G-bomb as he's gone in, and he's not used his rage, which was a little bit confusing. The rage in that middle group there, just to clear off that high hit point expo. Those Teslas quickly would have been good, but overall not entirely necessary. So he's just dumped it up the top there. Get that Queen. Dennis, when you watch this, just have a look over. That's probably the biggest suggestion outside of using your poison, of course, would have been to have possibly used the rage in the midfield. It's not often you rage hogs, but it would have worked out well. Good raid from Dennis, especially as one of our lower 9s. It's good to have knocked that base off for a fairly cheap Town Hall 9. Monkey came out. This attack was pretty early in the war as well, so this was one of our 3 Town Hall 9 3 stars straight up. He's come out early in the war with a GoHog. About 2.5 minutes overall, so it was still a little bit of fat on the raid. Good herding on the sides. You see the side buildings sort of moved out of the way in In come the wall breakers. Opens him up. He gets the king nice and early. That holds his own king back for a little bit, which is good. So the golems aggro the rest of the defences and clan castle. So that worked out quite well for him. He did have the 3 heals for the second part of the raid, the hog part. He's quite good with his raids. You get your hogs out early whilst those expos and centre defences are still targeting your kill group. Now comes a second heal there. Works well because it covers all his groups. These hogs on that expo are taking a fair bit of damage, but then they come up in the end, clip that heal, and then get that second heal, that third heal, I should say, overall. So good raid from Monkey. Nice and early in our war, so it did look quite good at the start of the war. Basically going to go through all the Town Hall 9s for this war. Phoenix, our big hitter, our big Town Hall 9, max heroes. It's one of the biggest things you can ever do is max your heroes up, farm them up, learn how to farm DE pretty hard, and get your heroes up because they're going to get you through your bigger, harder bases. So just over 2 minutes this raid. Another GoHog. He's gone with the 1 jump 3 heals as well. Hold on to the king for now. They did use a couple of these base structures similar to this throughout their clan. Dragon Valk CC. He's got that poison down. He's going to have to rage his king nice and early. That'll help him get through both those heroes and stay alive while the dragon's going at him. So unfortunately with this raid, the queen hasn't taken that jump. She's run around the side and that dragon's been allowed to keep going. So he's had to make sure he keeps going with the rest of his raid so he doesn't run out of time. He had a lot spare anyway, but just to use advantage of that golem while that was still there soaking. Two skelly traps together by that giant bomb. Try to get some unsuspecting people with that. And brings out his third heal. So as you saw, the queen, the dragon aggroed to the queen. He spotted that and just popped his ability, kept his queen up. Used his wizards down at the back end. That was always a good advantage. Have a look where your hogs are going to finish up to be able to use your wizards at the other end. This is the attack on number 13, I think it is. That's Phoenix's second attack. He did about 2.5 minutes. GoHog, but this time he's gone with the rage jump. As you see, similar sort of structure in the centre of the base there. That was a good use for his king there. Still got his ability, doesn't have to rage. Use the rage there to get rid of that king. That way the golems keeps that little bit of extra life. Queen's pew-pewing away. And he'll start his hogs now. So with your 2 heals, I still get stuck with this myself a few times. You've got to be very careful with where you use them and don't drop them out too early and try and get the full sort of use out of them. So I did a couple of raids myself this war where I probably did use the first heal too early and you're forever then trying to catch up. Pop this queen, just try to get a little bit of extra damage out quick, get a use so she's not totally useless, just pew pew on the walls. And used his second and last heal. See, by popping that rage on the queen's cloak I should say, did help get that expo down. That's it, just trash clean up from there. So 2.5 minutes, plenty of fat, good raid, Phoenix. Next raid's number 14. This was my attack with Barndo 82. I've done a queen walk with a GoHog, second part. Now I knew it was a hound in the CC as it had been hit, and biggest mistake I'll show you right here. It was a good spot to put the queen because she was going to get a lot of defences down there. Good jump, that got me into the middle to get the queen, access those giant bombs and draw the CC. So as a hound CC, I had just intended on letting it hit my golems and king, and I brought a witch along for extra DPS, but then I've gone and done something stupid and used me poison. That was a really big brain fart and almost cost me the raid. Queen enters in up the top there, that way you're not going to get stuck with your healers getting hit by that air defense. Probably a little bit late on that rage, so I've had to pop that cloak at the same time. Wasn't really needed much further. 2 heals for the hogs. So it wasn't too early on the first heal, and it did cover into those defenses in the middle there. I think it was only 18 or 19 hogs, so it wasn't a huge amount. Those skellies are working away at those hogs. Speed it up a bit. As you see, the hound's a bit stuck on this witch's skellies, and that's where you sort of go, oh shit, you got no poison. So unfortunately the queen's bunkered in there, she's trying to shoot these walls. And the old pups are giving those hounds a bit of a bashing. At least a few of them went to the queen though, that's pretty much what saved me. So there was about 10 seconds left, but it was a huge brain fart to drop that poison, especially knowing it was a hound and I was playing the raid to have the queen avoid it. That was it for the Town Hall 9s. So next one I'm going to show was Gundivers hit on base number 16. This was a GoHog, but just to show a few things. The traps were aware of where they were, so this is, I'm going to highlight this for our Town Hall 8s to show what we do know. We know there's a giant bomb there, you've got a skelly trap there, and you've got a giant bomb up the top there. So I'm not sure exactly how many attacks this took. The next Gundiver one I'm going to show, I know a little bit more about it, but come down with the 5 hogs at the start there to kill that cannon, and then run left to hit the giant bomb, but unfortunately it's missed, so the extra hogs come down and missed again. So he's not spent any more hogs. He did send 2 wall breakers, you would have noticed, ran down the bottom there as well. That was to aggro the other skelly trap, and then draw them up the top there. We'll speed it up, we don't need to watch it in slow-mo. Launched into the golem part of it, and that's going to get the king and a giant bomb in there as well. So that's one giant bomb out of the way. And because he knew there was a giant bomb still left at the end, he was aware of the heals and the positioning of the hogs and all of that. So that third heal did leave him open to that last giant bomb, but the hogs were all healed, so there was no dramas with that. It was about 2.5 minutes as well, that raid, so there's still a fair bit of fat left. Next raid was Kimmy's hit on number 17. This was another GoHog, and what I liked about this was seeing where he's put the golem to get to that king. Draws the clan castle, uses a minion so it's not aggroing that cannon, yet it's going to draw that dragon and wizard over to the side. Does his barb wizard warp. What's good about the barb walk as well is that if there is a ground troop like the wizard remaining, you know those barbs are going to go for that and get it. So out comes the golem and king. Quite lucky with his herding that the king didn't go astray and did go through the guts. Pops his rage for the king, the enrage, make sure he gets full use out of that. And that king's jumped from the inside of that core to there, so effectively now he did have a few loons for up top as well. It was a good idea to try and spot those. Unfortunately, only got the one building out of it. And then just spread those hogs. Those got full 3 heals for those hogs. I think there was 2 giant bombs down the bottom here. The only thing about that was missing that one cannon, so there was nothing left. So those loons up the top probably could have been saved for that cannon and would have made a much better finish. But outside of that, he you know, had 30 seconds left, shitload of troops. Good raid, Kimmy. Next attack I want to show was Cone's attack. He doesn't get too many replays on the old YouTube, but it was good to get one out. He's gone with a GoWiPe and then a hog tail, so not just only his CC hog, he took an extra 5 hogs as well, so that was a good raid. He's popped the clan castle out, got rid of the loon straight away. He's got 2 golems, king and 2 peckers, so quite a substantial kill force. Quite a few wall breakers as well. That opened up that bottom section there nicely. And you see he's going to pop the rage down shortly, and that's to get full use out of that. That gets the peckers running around quite nasty. Big bitches with swords, they love their rage. First heal's good, then he'll drop the clan castle up the top there. Don't really even need the clan castle, so it shows you how much room there is if we look at bases, analyse them properly and come out with the armies. You can use a huge mix of army, troop combinations, variations and get yourself ready for Town Hall 9 thinking. Good hit, Cone. Next one I want to show was Muzz's attack on number 19. I think this might be his first appearance in my YouTube vids. What I liked about seeing this was Muzz has struggled with the old dragon kill before, but he's nailed it to a T this raid and made the whole raid look easy, so it's an under 2 minute raid this one. Silly spot for the giant bombs, but it's still got to be knocked off. So you see for his kill, he's put the poison down, he's let that wizard soak out and then done a barb walk with the wizzies. Such a simple way of doing it, but very few troops lost. So from there he's gone into just hogging from the bottom. So he's 3 or 4 different points, pushed his hogs up. He saved a heap of hogs as well, so he's not just spammed them all down. Done a few from the sides. That's good for eliminating side defences, giving it a little bit of room. So in the last replay I showed you there was a cannon missed. Where you do a strategy like this, you don't miss those side defences because you've got a couple of hogs you can just ping on them. So clear up on the skellies, the king. Still plenty left. It's really good to see, Muzz. It's good to see guys actually watching our replays, watching the YouTube and improving. That's what it's all about. See Gundiver's hit on, I'll just pause this, wrong button. Gun divers hit on 21. Now this was the third hit on this base, and I'll get the old pen paint marker out. We do know that there was a giant bomb there, and both those giant bombs had skelly traps, and then a giant bomb down the bottom with a Tesla. The Tesla's on all three giant bombs, so not using any double giant bombs, but you see with the open goblin down the bottom there just to start on that, and he's used 4 hogs on that cannon, the intention being to get them to go into that section there. So he's aggroed the skellies, opened that giant bomb, and then started moving all that stuff down the bottom to that goblin. Done the same on the left hand side, but the old hogs path differently. So did get the skelly trap, left the giant bomb. That's the decision you got to make. Do you spend more hogs or do you keep going? So he's used 8 hogs to start the map, gotten the clan castle, gotten 1 giant bomb. That's a pretty good trade. Started with the golem, maybe a touch early, but I think that was just to take the aggro of that dragon. Also triggered the giant bomb, and then that way that wasn't running onto your wizards at the end. So one of the other attacks I saw on this, those side cannons were picking on those whizzies. So a nice early start from those hogs. You know there's a giant bomb there still active, so you definitely got to make sure a hill was in there. And they've just systematically worked up. So really, with the replays, it's important that you're watching a replay against the base you're going to hit once, twice, 3 times, however many times it takes, but you need to be able to work out, can I use 4 hogs, am I going to trip a bomb, am I going to aggro a skelly trap and be able to make an advantage. So you do see in the replays, I try and point them out for our guys to be able to see, and making sure we're getting that improvements. Other than that, great war. We won by 3 stars, hit the 88%. Thanks for the good war, Titans Refuge. I hope you guys said hello. Dave did come to say hi, and other than that, clash on.